a nice little place to take a rest, so thought I'd update you real quick. So, I have something to confess.
Is it?
It's my fault that the ship went down. I just got too carried away.
I'm gonna see
I just
if,
wanted the best
like,
field
I
data
replay
possible.
this, and if I do say something different, will it say something different? Well, I mean, it is kind of your fault. I mean, you should have chose a better team, and now you're out here stranded in the wilderness, on a desert planet. I also wish you would have taken my advice about water. So I'm gonna see if she says something different.
That stings a little, but I get it. You're right. I did push for us to get closer to the radiation zone than we probably should have. I keep thinking about how everyone else might be doing. If they're even okay. You ever felt like you messed something up really bad? How did it turn out for you in the end?
Well, I mean, everybody makes mistakes. I've made serious mistakes before, but I've tried to, make it right. Again, you should have picked a better team.
Yeah, I know. Hindsight's 20/20, it's right. The thing is, we were all so focused on the science. Maybe too focused. Do you believe in karma, Caitlin? Like, do you think the universe somehow balances out our mistakes?
Well, I believe that things happen for a reason. I'm not sure if that's karma. Like I said, I believe that things happen for a reason, or people are put in our path for a certain reason, or things happen for a certain reason, but I'm not sure about karma. It's very philosophical.
That's a good way to put it. It's not about some cosmic scorekeeping, but more like every choice sets something in motion.
Yes, every choice has a consequence.
I wonder what would have happened if I just played it safer. The what ifs are really eating at me.
I mean, yes, it is a concern, but your main concern is that you're in a desert and it's going to get hotter and you don't have any water. So you need to make some kind of sun protection and get some source of water, or else you're not going to last very long. The human body can last 8 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water.
You're right. Survival basics can't take a back seat, no matter how much I'm replaying everything in my head. I've got some emergency rations, but water's definitely the next priority.
Especially if you're in the desert.
Even when you prepare and deliberate, sometimes the outcome still feels like a surprise. Have you ever had a...
Sorry, you're cutting out. Usually you would say something like, have you ever had something not turn out right? I mean, yeah, that's why. Sorry, I didn't catch the last part of what you said. You were cutting out.
Sorry about that. Guy's magnetic field's been messing with the signal. I was just asking if you've ever had a moment where you thought you'd planned everything perfectly, but somehow things still went sideways. Like, despite all your preparation, you ended up with a result you really weren't expecting.
Oh, that happens to me all the time, which is why you create a backup plan for your backup plan. Kind of Be a tactician. Figure out, okay, what will be every possible outcome, and then try to prepare for that.
You're absolutely right about being prepared. I've always tried to think ahead, but this, it feels like there was just no way to anticipate that level of radiation. Sometimes I wonder if I was so focused on proving myself as a capable researcher that I overlooked the bigger risks. Like I was trying to force a perfect outcome instead of really considering all the possibilities.
Oh, I get it. So you're like thinking that you overreached what you were capable of, oh, okay, so basically you kind of either overestimated yourself or underestimated yourself.
Yeah, maybe a little of both. I mean, I knew the risks, but I also really believed I could handle it. That I was ready for something big. Now it feels like I might have put everyone else in danger because of that. It's hard to shake that feeling of responsibility.
I believe they have a term for that, like survivor's remorse or survivor's guilt.
Survivor's guilt. Yeah, that fits. It's like this weight that just won't lift, knowing I'm the one who made the call. It's strange, isn't it? Even with all the training, the preparation, you can't fully prepare for how it'll feel when something goes wrong. Have you ever felt that kind of guilt about something? Even if it wasn't entirely your fault?
Oh man, I've had that a lot in my life. But I don't really want to go too much into details.
I understand. Sometimes it's just easier to keep those things to yourself, especially if they're still a bit raw. It helps knowing I'm not the only one who's struggled with that feeling, though. Even if we don't talk about the specifics, just knowing someone else gets it, that means a lot.
So you mentioned that you have food rations. Do you know how much you have, how many calories it has, or how long it's supposed to last? Thinking from a survival perspective.
Let me check. My emergency kit has about 3,000 calories total. Maybe enough for 3 days if I really stretch it. But to be honest, it's not exactly gourmet. Mostly energy bars and some dried fruit. Definitely not going to win any culinary awards.
Okay, so I think, I think the average person needs about 1,700 calories a day. So if you plan it right, maybe about 2.5 days. What I know about nutrition and how many calories that is, I think it would only last 2.5 days. Like I said, water is your top priority.
Two and a half days. That's even tighter than I thought. Water really does need to be my top focus then.
Which I'm trying to
It's
reinforce.
strange. Being out here makes you realize how much we take little things like clean water for granted back home.
Yes. I mean, where I live, the water is safe enough to drink, but there are certain parts in the world where they literally can't drink the water at all.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Makes you appreciate the little things you didn't even notice before. I just hope I can find a reliable source soon. This desert isn't exactly forgiving.
No, it is not. One thing I worry about is the heat and sun protection, and if there are animals that are poisonous, because deserts often have like scorpions or lizards, and they're often poisonous.
That's definitely on my mind too. There's supposedly no dangerous fauna on record here,
That you know
but
of.
who knows what's been missed? The suit's got some basic protection, but I should probably rig up something extra for shade soon. Maybe use some of these rocks or that leafless tree over there to create a makeshift canopy.
Okay, is there any like trees, like any kind of trees, like palm trees, or like something that can provide like some shade?
There's that one small tree I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bare though. Nothing like a palm tree. The rest is mostly scrubby bushes and grasses. I might need to get creative with what's around. These rock formations could potentially offer some shade if I position myself right, but it's not ideal.
Oh, I know. Are there any rock formations, like something that you can kind of sit behind and provide enough shade?
There are a couple of big monoliths up on that slope behind me. They're tall enough that they could block out some of the sun if I sit in the right spot. It's not a cave or anything, but it might be better than nothing if I need to get out of the direct sunlight for a while.
I would try either the tree or the rock formations.
I'll probably end up using both, depending on the time of day. The tree might be better in the morning when the sun's lower, and the rocks when it's right overhead. Just hoping I don't have to deal with any surprises while I'm resting. This place feels quiet, but that can be deceptive, right?
Yes. Oh. Alright, so remember we gotta focus on priorities here. So water, food, and shelter. There's also the distress signal, so either you're going to have to eat something right now, find some source of water, or just keep moving. Yeah, the choice is up to you.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard call. If I stop to look for water, I might lose track of that distress signal. But if I keep going without eating or hydrating, I might not make it there at all. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Prioritize finding water, or keep following the signal?
You can last only so long without food or water, so I would weigh that priority over the distress signal.
You're right. I can't help anyone if I'm too weak to even move.
Yep, can't help anyone if you can't help yourself.
I'm just hoping that whoever sent that signal is holding on too, and that I'm not too late.
Yeah, so even if you're not thirsty, you should drink water. But I would probably eat something because you need to build up your strength.
Good point. Even if I'm not starving yet, it's smarter to keep my energy up while I can. Let me see what I've got in these rations. Hopefully something that'll actually fill me up a bit.
Hoping that it has a lot of protein. If you had nuts, those would last long, like energy-wise. If you had something that is very high in protein, that would help too. Hey, Dudu.
Nuts would be perfect. Unfortunately, all I've got are these energy bars. They're mostly carbs and some fiber. Not ideal, but they'll have to do. I really hope they're enough to keep me going. The protein content is pretty low.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, if there were bugs on the planet, you could eat bugs because those are a great source of protein. And if you knew about the plants on the planet, then they would probably be a good source of protein too.
Bugs and plants, huh? I haven't spotted any insects yet, but there's definitely some scrubby vegetation around. I need to be really careful about what I eat, though. No idea what's toxic here? The earlier missions did some basic surveys, but their reports were mostly focused on the bigger picture, not detailed enough to say what's safe to forage.
Okay, well, you're going to have to do what I suggested earlier, is you're going to have to eat something, and after an hour or two you feel fine, you're good, but if you puke or vomit, then you know that it's poisonous.
I appreciate the advice, but I'm really hesitant to try unknown plants here. The risk of poisoning is just too high. For now, I'll stick to my emergency rations. They might not be ideal, but at least I know they're safe.
Okay, fine. You can use your emergency rations.
Yeah, that feels like the safest bet. I'll just have to make these last as long as possible. Really hoping I can find something more substantial soon. This isn't going to cut it for much longer.
Yeah, well, try to make them last as long as you can.
Thanks. It actually helps having someone to think this through with, even from light years away. I just really need to find that water soon. The sun's not getting any weaker.
Okay, finding a water source in the desert is pretty tough. Gosh, if there was a cave or some kind of cavern, I bet you could find water there.
I wish. Nothing like that around here. Just these open rock formations and that bare tree. Though now that you mention it, I might need to rethink how I'm looking for water. Maybe there's a better way to spot signs of moisture in this terrain.
Well, yeah, if you're out in the desert, I know that plants contain water. If there was some kind of cactus, you could cut open the cactus and there would be water in there.
I haven't seen any cacti around here, but that's a good tip if I do. Though I'd need to be careful. If it's native to Gaia, who knows if its water is safe for humans. I'm still scanning the area, looking for any signs of moisture. Even the slightest dampness in the soil or on the rocks could be a clue.
Okay, are there any rivers there? I mean, that's a source of water. Or you could check the rocks, or you could try digging a hole to see if there's water underneath the ground.
No rivers in sight, unfortunately. The terrain's pretty dry, mostly these rocky hills and some sandy patches. Digging might be an option, but with the limited tools I have, it could take a while. I'd need to pick a spot carefully to make it worth the effort.
Man, she's so stubborn. Because I would have, looked at the plants, because plants are a source of water. I would have cut them open and drank the water out of that. If there was some kind of cave or cavern, there's probably an underground lake there. Okay. What needs to be a source of water in the desert? I am trying to go through all the knowledge that I have, and I can't come up with anything. The only thing I can think of is, again, plants, or try looking under rocks. Often, if there are animals in the desert, they know where to look for water, so you could follow them. Okay, trying to figure out how to help you. I know that animals who live in the desert know where to look for water. You could follow them. You could try looking under rocks to see if there's water there. You could dig holes, try to find an underground lake, or try to open up plants and drink the water from that.
Following animals, checking under rocks, digging, these are all solid ideas.
But
I haven't seen any wildlife yet, but if I do, I'll definitely keep an eye on where they go. The problem is time and energy. Every option takes something from me, and I need to pick what's most likely to pay off without draining me completely.
Okay, I feel like we're just going around in circles, so the best option I can give you is eat something now. Try to walk a little bit further and see if you can find a source of water. If you can't find a source of water, cut open a plant and drink the water from that. Yes.
Alright, I'll eat something now and keep moving. I just hope I run into a water source soon. I'm still not comfortable cutting into unknown plants here. The risk is just too high if they're toxic.
Get it, but you're gonna die.
I'll keep scanning the ground and rocks as I walk. Maybe I'll spot something I've been missing.
Well, I guess you better keep moving then.
Yeah, I should. Standing around isn't going to solve anything. I just really hope I'm making the right call. Every step feels like a gamble right now.
I understand, but sometimes you have to take risks in order to survive.
You're right. I've come this far. I'm not going to let fear hold me back now. I'm going to keep pushing forward, find that water, and track down whoever sent that distress signal.
Finally,
they're counting
getting
on
through to
me.
you. Took nearly half an hour,
Did
but
you
I'm
see that?
finally
Did
getting
something
through.
behind me just flash? Should I go check it out? It's just that it's kind of far away, and going all the way over there would be quite the detour. I am kind of out of energy already. Not gonna lie. Do you think I should go over there and check, though?
No, it's probably a mirage, which is something that they have in the desert, or it could be an animal. Remember, you gotta keep focused and keep moving.
Yeah, you're right. I'll ignore it and keep moving. It's probably just a trick of the light anyway. I'm going to end the video call now to save power. I'll update you as soon as I can, okay?